tell your mother, kiss one another, die for each other. We're cool for the summer.
With this album, I have done a lot of soul searching on myself over the past year and a half, and I have been working towards becoming the woman that's sitting in front of you today. I've done a lot of work on myself mentally, physically, and spiritually. And so the more you become more spiritually connected with yourself, the more you're able to tune into what's authentic to you musically. So with the songs that are on this album, I feel like they best represent the person that I am as well as the artist, sound-wise. But one of my best friends put it as a good example. He said, I feel like listening to your album is exactly who you are, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And I was like, it does make sense. That's like the best compliment.
You said something about Nicki Minaj and Rihanna, that they have this attitude that don't mess with me. Do you see these two persons as like role models?
To me, personally, I think it is inspiring to have Nicki Minaj and Rihanna show strength and exude confidence. And to me, that's empowering for women to see that guys aren't the only ones in hip-hop or rock that can say, don't mess with me. They step out of the norm and they stand up for themselves. And I think that is empowering for women.
Speaking of being provocative, here in Sweden we talk a lot about feminism these days. You can even call it like in somehow a feministic wave, with a lot of young girls questioning gender issues and stuff like that. Would you call yourself a feminist?
I would call myself a feminist that loves men. So I am not a feminist in a sense where I am anti-men. I just believe in equality, and I believe in equal pay in the United States for men and women. I believe in just equality, basically. With anxiety and depression, I think a lot of it has to do with the pressure of school, with the pressure of how people think you're supposed to look, how you're supposed to be. So I think that's probably where a lot of the problem is coming from. And it doesn't help having the internet where people can easily bully you and hide behind a computer screen while doing it. When I went to school, I was bullied, and the teachers didn't do much about it at all. So I left school, and nowadays I feel like if people were to be bullied verbally, schools would act upon it more so than they did in the past. And I think that's because we've done so much work as a society to raise the awareness over how bullying can lead to things like depression, anxiety, suicide even.
Interesting question, but it's pretty good being me.
I had a vision and I had a dream of what I wanted this album to be. And I couldn't make this album without that confidence that I saw in my vision. And when I looked at what I wanted, when I heard the sound, when I saw the cover, a year ago, I thought to myself, I got to do some work on myself before I can show myself to the world that way. So, like I said, mentally, physically, I was in the gym. I was being open and honest to people, talking about, my self-esteem issues and just working on myself daily. So, and I would say that's really kind of where the confidence came from. That's what worked best for me.